Building a Star Wars Cantina home bar in my garden, part 8. So the main focus here is the doorway. So I already have the kind of roller shutter door installed, a lot like a garage door roller shutter, but much more lightweight than a garage door. And I'm using these interlocking 28mm planks together to make the kind of doorway. So they interlock and I'm able to get this kind of curvature on them, and I'm screwing them in from the other side. Then I'm using some spare MDF planks that I actually have from an old IKEA wardrobe, along with some chipboard to make the other side type of thing from them, and kind of mount with a jigsaw. And before anyone angrily runs to the comments to complain about using MDF or chipboard, because this is going to be for external use and susceptible to weather, I'm coating it in a bunch of Zinsser. It's a paint made specifically for making MDF and chipboard more than just weather resistant, pretty much weatherproof. A lot of the bins in London are actually made out of chipboard, coated in a bunch of Zinsser. You just wouldn't realise because there's so much of it on them. I even painted kind of the inside areas that are going to be boarded up and you won't see anyway, so it's definitely very protected. And then it's getting covered in stuff after anyway. I then worked out roughly the size of the letters I wanted for the name of the cantina, and I drew them on paper after sketching it out from my computer screen basically, and then kind of placed them on there with some tape just to see if I was happy with how they spaced out as I thought they would. Then after many more coats of Zinsser, I'm applying the paint that I got for this. Was actually, it's called Sandstone, and it didn't come out like it was supposed to and looked like on the tin. Which was a shame, but I coloured it in anyway in that sort of area, the areas that are going to be kind of seen, because the rest is getting covered in the same sort of stone cladding as the rest of the cantina cabin outside. I then transferred the paper templates for the letters by hand to chipboard and then cut them out with a jigsaw. If I had all the money in the world, I would get them laser cut, but I don't want to go over budget, so I'm just kind of using a jigsaw, and then here they are, glued on and nailed on just for extra security. Now I'm adding the stone cladding, the same as the rest of the cantina you see on the other side here, just to make it all kind of flow better and just look like it is one piece made out of stone effectively, a lot like the stuff you have at Galaxy's Edge. I also decided to replace and kind of stagger the kind of the stone panels where the windows and things currently are, because I just thought it would look better staggered instead of in one line. So I repurposed some of those over near the doorway around the writing and stuff. I then tried mixing the sandstone masonry paint with originally grey paint and then a variety of other things in there to try and get the right colour, but it didn't really come out quite right. It came out a little bit, I don't know, kind of purpley or too grey, or it just didn't really work. So thank God for B&Q colour match. So I just took them a little sample of one of the small pieces, cut-offs from the external cladding, and they literally colour matched it perfectly. For the areas that the stone cladding isn't there, and around the letters and the kind of wood going into the doorway and stuff, I just kind of used a external filler and smushed it all into the area and put it on a like plaster in a way, or render, and then just dabbed it with a brush while it was still wet and a sponge to kind of get a stony texture to it. And this is how it looked after it was all painted and done outside. I did mix the colour matched paint with a lighter colour, being that original sandstone I had, just to paint the front of the letters a little bit lighter colour, just to make them pop a little bit more. The only things left to do now on the outside is pretty much paint the roof the same colour, just so it all matches. It's felt and it will just kind of look as if it's stone, and part of it is my idea anyway. And then just filler in some other gaps and things. But that's basically the outside done. And if you are guessing the name of the cantina, how's your Arabesh? Stay tuned for the next part, pretty much the internal doorway, the bar and upholstering the seating, and then just waiting for some furniture to arrive. But it's pretty close.